Hello, students. It's Mr. Bechtold. I'd like to discuss a very important topic called voicing. Um, so let's back up a little bit. This is a little bit of science involved in sound production. So anything that you hear make a sound, that means air is vibrating. Okay. So when I'm speaking to you right now, my vocal cords in here is vibrating the air coming out, and that's what creates sound. The saxophone, the vocal cord is basically your reed. Okay, so that's what's vibrating the air to make sound. Um, what makes the reed vibrate? The air hitting it, and then the reed vibrates the air as it's passing by. Okay, so when you want a low sound, or let's say a low D, the air is going to be fast. When you want a middle D, the air is going to be faster. And when you want a high D, it's going to be even faster than that. Okay, so the air is never slow. It's just different degrees of fast, is the way I like to say it. Okay, so when I want to play a low D, for instance, I'm going to imagine the word doh. Okay, DOH. And that gets the air at a certain speed that is good for low D. And what that's doing is positioning the back of my tongue in a certain spot that guides the air through my mouth and makes it go at a certain speed. Okay, and then so that's do for like low register. Do and low rhyme, so it's kind of easy to remember. All right, then when you want a middle D in the staff, you would actually think more of a do syllable, okay? And that is going to speed up the air a little bit and get the upper sound to come out. The octave key is not what makes the high note come out. What makes it come out is faster vibration of the air, which means faster vibration of the reed, which means faster air coming out of your lungs and diaphragm. Okay, so when you think the word do, it raises your tongue just a little bit, not much, just enough to speed the air up to get the upper sound to come out. So in this exercise, you're going to notice the first measure is a low D, and it says toe on it or do. Either way works. Slightly different articulation, but same concept. And it has a fermata over it, which means to hold the note as long as you possibly can with a good sound. Okay, so there is no counting on that note. You're just going to sustain that note until you just can't do it anymore with a good sound. And then you're going to give yourself a couple beats, and then you're going to breathe, and then you're going to come in on a middle D with no octave key. You're not going to touch your octave key. Normally you would, but in this case, we're truly going to just use our voicing to make the middle D come out. Okay? This is what's called an overtone. So we're actually going to be achieving an overtone D, which is literally what middle D essentially is. If you can hit middle D without pressing your octave key, you're on to something. That means you're in the right ballpark as far as like how fast the air should go. Okay, so the metronome is going to be going this entire time, and I'm going to have it set to 80, okay? And so when you play the first note, you're not going to worry about the metronome. You're just going to kind of ignore it. It's going to be going on in the background. You're just sitting there holding that note as long as you can. All right, and then when you finish that low D, pause for a couple seconds, give yourself a chance to catch a breath, take a really great breath, and come in on a middle D with no octave key and hold it for 4 beats. And then on beat 1, you are going to change down to low D again, and then you're going to hold that note with whatever air you have left. It also has a fermata over it, and you are also ignoring the metronome at this point. Okay? So if I were to sizzle what I am talking about, in other words, I'm going to blow the air and do the voicing just without my saxophone, it would sound something like this. So I'm turning the metronome on, and hold on, there it is. And so now I'm going to count myself in, I'm going to take a breath, and I'm just going to blow the air as long as I can. And the first note you're going to notice is do sounding. And then I'm going to pause and breathe, and I'm going to do for 4 counts. And then on beat 1 of the next measure, I'm going to switch back to do again. Okay, so here I go. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Okay. And then you do the same thing on a D sharp, same thing on an E, and then so on.